It all started back in 2002 when one pupil ran away from home and sought refuge in the school to escape being married off. Her act became an eye-opener for other girls who were facing the same predicament but didn't have a place or someone to run to. They all sought refuge in the school, giving the head teacher at that time no option but to find a way of helping them.
It wasn't planned to be a rescue program. But when we realized that we can rescue them and they can continue with an education, then other girls started running away from such practices. It wasn't an easy task. It created a lot of enmity between the parents and the school, because remember, these girls are, when they are given out for marriage, parents are paid bride price, and therefore when you rescue them, it's like you create some enmity between you and the parents.
Jane, not her real name, escaped from home when her father wanted to marry her off at the tender age of 12 as a third wife to a man old enough to be her grandfather. Her family was not happy with her decision and disowned her.
Niliona nikiolewa haraka, nilikuwa mdogo, nimeona tena ukikaa bila kusoma hakuna kitu utapata bila masomo. Utapata kazi yako ukisoma. Na nimeona wazazi wangu vile wanapitia life ambayo wako sahi, nikapenda kusoma ili niweze kuwasaidia pamoja na wengine wote ambao hawajasoma.
She has since reconciled with her mother and one of her brothers, but her father and other 4 siblings are still bitter with her.
Nataka kuwa daktari kwa sababu naona daktari wanafanya kazi nzuri, wanaokoa maisha ya mtu, na pia daktari si wengi kwa Kenya, and I want to be one of them.
With time, other needy children who lacked someone to care for them also sought refuge in this institution. Some had been orphaned and left in the cruel hands of relatives who mistreated them and denied them the right to education. Naomi Kambua, a happy and confident young girl, was brought to the center when she was only 7 years old.
My name is Naomi Kambua. I would like to express my life history. I was rescued there back at home and brought here in IC Girls. It was 2005 when my mother had passed. When she had passed there at home, when we had remained there back at home, we had nobody to take care of us. Now, that time I was 7 years old. Then, that 2006, my aunt came and took us where she was living, in that home, where she was living in Ongatarongai. She took care of us, and then after 1 month, she had a friend. She had a lady who was her best friend. She took us there. When we were taken to that lady, the first time she took care of us well, but when she continued, she started mistreating us, like not giving us food and not taking us to school.
Until she met the late Bishop Selei, who told her about the institution. Naomi has since found home in the institution, where she says has been everything she ever wished for.
When the schools were closed, this has been my home from 2007 until now. I'm in class 6. It has been my best home, and I like it. Hata singependa kutoka because it has been my best. I mean, they have helped me in whatever I did not have. They gave me the food, they provided for me the clothing, and they provided for us a home to stay. It is just like a home because it is called hostel, where those who remain in school, we sleep there.
To help cater for these children, FAWE came in and provided funds for their education. They built a special hostel where the girls stay during the holiday. But the deputy head teacher says it is still hard since the girls have other needs.
We find it difficult at times because we receive these children with even the letters from the children's office. But then sometimes once you've received these children, that is it. We never see these people from the children's department again. So we feel like sometimes we are burdened because these children are brought for protection and care, but then we end up doing now the rest of the things, like ensuring that they get the personal issues and every other thing that they need in school.
When this institution was started in 1959, its sole purpose was to provide education. But 40 years down the line, there was need to come up with a rescue home for girls who, for one reason or another, had been denied a place to call home or a right to basic education. Benta Sheila's story is a bit complicated. She was brought to the center from a children's home in order to hide her from a cruel aunt who used to mistreat her.
So wenye aunti yangu alijua niko huko Sultan, wakanitoa huko wakanileta hapa.
She last saw her mother when she was 5 years old and can barely remember her apart from her first name.
The only person najua alipass ni baba peke yake.
Na mamako anajua uko hapa? Na unajua kwenye mamako yuko?
Najua yes ni Western, lakini sijui place.
Unajua jina yake?
Jina ya mama? Mimi najua jina moja.
Anaitwa nani?
Ruth.
She knows she belongs to the Luya community but doesn't know which subtribe specifically and cannot speak in Luya either.
Nakumbuka ndugu yangu tena namfuata, anaitwa Morris. Niko na sister anaitwa Annette. Niko na ndugu anaitwa Ben. Mwingine anaitwa Maraka. Maisha sio mbaya. Ni vizuri tulipata walimu wenye wanatutekea. Ni wazuri. Tuko sawa. Tunapata kila kitu.
For the last 4 years, this has been her home, but her greatest desire is to see her family again.
And even we have some games to play. There are visitors who come and we play together. And when we play with them, we don't feel like we are lonely. We feel that we have somebody to take care of us because we make fun with them. We play each and every game that we would like to play.
Shule nilikuja kama hata sikuanga shule. Nilikuja tu nikaanza shule. Sikuwa naelewa hata Kiswahili. Vile nilikuja shule, nimejua vitu nyingi, mambo mengi. Nimejua kuongea Kiswahili and English. Na nikajua kuandika na kusoma. Na nikajua kwamba shule ni nzuri kuliko kukaa tu nyumbani. Sababu unakuwa mwerevu, unajua vitu nyingi. Na pia ukimaliza shule utamtegemea mtu mwingine.
For 12 years, this institution has been a safe haven for girls who are being threatened to female genital mutilation, early marriages, or just who didn't have parents to take care of them. But even as they find refuge in this place, some darkness still lingers at the end of the tunnel. What happens to them after they clear school is still unknown, and the deputy head teacher can only hope that somehow when the time comes, Lady Luck will strike.
We are not very sure where they'll go when they complete school because we have 3 who are in high school and 1 who is now in class 7. Those are orphans. But we know that with time, maybe we'll have their other family members, maybe their aunts or uncles, who might come and look for them when they complete education. It might be difficult right now getting them, but we know that once they are done with schooling, they'll be able to get in touch with members of their families, maybe extended families. There are some parents who are still bitter with their daughters, but I know that with time, since we were able to reconcile some, with time I know time is a healer, and I know these parents may also be able to reconcile with their daughters in future.
And I would like to promise that when I finish my studies until university, I would like to be a surgeon.
A lawyer.
Namkabo Werunga, GBS.